Alright guys, how you guys doing? My name is Seon, and today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna just sit back, maybe talk about life a little while we enjoy some of this very crappy Kindred gameplay. Uh, you know, where to begin, right? Some of you guys might think, hey, why is this guy gonna how's this guy gonna pull off? No, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I really don't, and I shouldn't be worried about it. I think I should just try to be myself and be my own kind of guy. And I think this is a sort of therapeutic thing I'm trying to do here, deep down inside. Well, we'll take it step by step. Anyways, I'm playing Kindred in this game. Kindred is amazing. I love playing Kindred, no matter how much they've nerfed him, her, it, death itself, whatever you want to call it. But right now, actually, I'm playing with the wrong runes and masteries. I have my support runes and masteries. I think it's Bonding a Stone, whatever the name of it is, when we take a percentage damage for your ally and you take minimal damage. Yeah. Well, I got that, and I got support items and whatnot. I've got a support J4 bot lane getting first blood, and no, I'm just farming it up right now. Little by little, just like I'm gonna take this video. Right now, how's life looking? I'm a 19-year-old, just playing video games right now when he should be working. Dad's not in the picture at the moment. He was. We'll get into that maybe another time. I don't want to throw all of it at you guys at once, or whoever wants to listen, or let it all out at once. Anyways, but nah. See right here, I'm warning you for the Yasuo because I don't have no idea where Kha'Zix is, and I don't think he gives a damn being up that close. But he will give a damn when he dies. And we got a Vayne top lane against Renekton. Right now, Renekton's health is falling low, is very low, and I'm going up there to try to help him, but by the time I react, it's too late. So, my bad, Renekton, if you ever end up seeing this. But I did see it. I just saw it late. Ignore chat if it's. I didn't read much of chat this game at all, but typical League of Legends community, very toxic, very upsetting, super sensitive. Everyone here, I marked Vayne because she's also very overconfident from what I saw, and just no matter what she does here, pop, ghost, flash, whatever the hell she could have for an escape, she's dead no matter what I do. And Renekton's got the right idea by tanking tower, and I'm able to pick up the kill. I'm just glad that I was able to set up the mark in time because of that mark takes a couple seconds to pull off. Maybe I think it's 2 or 3 seconds that it takes to install an enemy unit, and if you kill him before that, it doesn't count to your passive stack. So basically, let me give you the rundown on Kindred's abilities to some of you guys who don't know. Kindred has an ability where it's see, I don't know the name by heart. See, that's how you know I'm a crappy player. But basically, her ability is certain jungle camps and will be marked with a little swirl, as you see right there, right above dragon that just spawned. That'd be Scuttle Crab, by the way, little Scuttle. And every time you take a mark, which is eliminate a target who has it, you get 1.25 or 2.25, something like that, percentage max health damage of the enemy you're hitting on auto attack each time. So let's say it's at 5%. When you auto attack someone at 1,000 health, you're gonna do your basic damage plus 50, and then 900, 45 or whatever the math may be there. It goes like that. But the thing is, though, it's infinitely stackable. So you always want to get these marks, always. Although after level 6, it doesn't get as easy as this, and they're not always as easy as this, where you can just, find the little innocent monster and kill it who's not going to hurt you. And again, I saw Kha'Zix right there in that bush. He's going to pop out right here, if I'm not mistaken. Just give a little, try to go for a gank. He's going to turn the corner right about. Oh, well, he's in that bush. You'll see him. Oh, there he goes. There's that dirty monster. And Yasuo probably saw it. So looks like he's not dashing forward, but he starts doing it anyway. So I go back, and little do I know, Kha'Zix jumps on me, but I'm going on him, and I feel like I'm gonna lose it. So I start pinging. Yasuo barely sees it, but just in time, I get out with a sliver of health, and then look, boop, I just take that. I took the last kill. Um, but yeah, no, not Kha'Zix. Kindred is not too difficult of a character. Um, again, it's just staying at range, being confident. Nothing too hard. Again, the Vayne's up here overextending, thinking she's hard shit. Right now, I'm gonna try to go back to get an item. I think I go back here. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I go back and I see that bot's having a problem. So I get my my red smite, my challenging smite, some boots, some daggers, pink ward, and whatnot, just to get ready to go back out there. And yeah, no. So yeah, about life, man. You guys ever think, some of you guys are young out there, some of you guys are like 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever. Some of you guys don't have dad either, or don't have mom, or whatever your struggle scenario may be. And some of you guys have to end up working to help pay the bills or whatnot. That's my story in a nutshell. I had a pretty quiet high school life, but I wish I could have finished it like my girlfriend did. I didn't get to finish it. My dad left when I first started my part-time job. Well, not left, but that's another time again. And basically, I had to take full time at my Taco Bell job that I had part-time. Damn, and that was no, this was before Taco Bell actually. Scratch all that. Yeah, my dad was gone, and I had to drop out, and I needed to find a job. So I found this shitty little restaurant. I'm not gonna give any names, but we're gonna call it M. All right, this restaurant called M. No, it's not McDonald's. Anyways, this restaurant called M. It's a sports bar, and it's an American sports bar, sports pub, whatever you want to call it. They have games on the little panel TVs, or the big panel TVs anyways, and they got events, wing nights and stuff like that. And I was brought in as a food prepper. Everybody else makes the food, and you assemble the food on a little table. And set it up. See, I was 15 years old. I barely even knew how to cook eggs. Barely knew how to. Yeah, I was honestly a spoiled brat, I want to say. Maybe not spoiled brat, but I definitely was given some leeway as a child from my family. My family is very kind to me, and I wasn't grateful till whatever happened. And basically, I worked there for a bit for supposedly $9 an hour. All right, week and a half came in, and the boss, let's just call him boss. The boss wanted to change my position. He told me, "Hey, put yourself on deep fryer." Now, because I had already been screwing up everything in in prepping, I had to look at the menu a million times. I had to check a million times. Orders were never coming out on time. People were complaining about being, grown 30-year-old men, 25-year-old men, strong, guys complaining that food's not coming out. Oh, here gets Vayne. Vayne is just. This is why you don't really want to play a marksman top, let alone Vayne being of all the marksmen. You want an escape at least. And look at that. Renekton was just brilliant, flashing back in because he knew he was going to die to the tower shot. I knew it too, is why I did drop the ulti at the time. And now here Kha'Zix comes out of the blue, and he gets super greedy, but look at this, look at this. Okay, never mind. I thought this is another scene, but basically I kill him and I get out of my life, and I think I take down Vayne if I'm not mistaken. No, I think I let him, I let Draven get to it after I ward. Basically, and she just dies to the tower. Anyways, I had been working this place. They put me in the deep fryer after a week and a half, and deep fryer is very easy. You put down something for about 2 or 3 minutes. You kind of have to give a rough estimate, especially when no one's giving you instructions by any matter. People would tell me like, "Hey, we need 20 wings." I'd put down 20 wings, and I had to judge it because nobody would give me. There was no timer. Nobody told me like, "Hey, take it out in a minute and a half," or look at the clock, or use the timer. There was nothing. I didn't even have my first phone at the time, so I was just working with what I could, trying my hardest. I'm counting seconds in my head and looking up at the clock. Kind of like just trying to get a rough estimate. And a couple times, every time I brought out the food, it looks like it wasn't too bad. Nobody called out or anything. Nobody got mad at the time. But then there was this one guy. We're gonna call him Juan. Just not a real name. We're gonna call him that. Basically, Juan here was the pizza man. He put the pizzas in the oven, he made them, and whatnot, and that was his department there. This guy was selling cocaine out of the back of the store. and the boss knew about it, and they were okay with it. They were splitting funds, and man, if at the time my mom didn't have the job she has now because of being an immigrant, man, would it have been rough. Anyways, that just happened there. Anyways, yeah, I would have left if I didn't have to be there, but I didn't. I stayed there for possibly a month and a half. They put me in the deep fryer, and this guy, every time I would do anything, he would cuss me out in Spanish, just talk the maddest crap in Spanish, and I can take criticism. I mean, my dad wasn't exactly the gentlest guy on the planet, so I didn't cry and nothing like that. But for me, everything came out yes, no, yes sir, no sir, no matter how unfair I felt it was. Yeah, Javen went top here. Javen was like, "Hey, I'm not getting any farm bot. You're taking it all," and he just went top lane to lane against Vayne, and then Renekton's still going up there, but it's working, so I'm not complaining here. And yeah, I'm gonna go up top and see what I can do here. Regardless, this guy would just cuss me out no matter what I did, how hard I try. And it looked like sometimes he was a little happy about, oh, watch this. Close, very close. But the heal's too strong. And, okay, back to the story, I'm sorry. No, this guy would just cuss me out. And, whenever I try to talk to another guy there, we'll call him Matt. When I talked to Matt, Matt was also a hard ass, but he was a hard ass with a good heart. I knew it. I knew he was one of those guys that was struggling with life. Got stuck with his daughter that wife didn't want. Had crappy apartment, shitty job, can't find a better place to work. That was a bit of that guy's story, and he was always nice to me. But whenever he was mad at me, he was fucking mad. He would not let it go. But yeah, that's what that was. And throughout this time, I'm slowly going less to school because I'm so tired when I come back from work. I would work, let's see, they didn't give me exact hours. They would tell me to come in as soon as I get out of school, and I would stay till 10 at night. Keep in mind, this was run by one guy. There's no HR, there's no nothing like that. And if there was, I sure as hell wasn't told or aware of it. But I was there from 2 to 10, 2:30 to 10, 3 to 10, whatever it could be. And then they would ask me if I wanted to stay longer. And when they asked me if I wanted to stay longer, it'd be an overnight dishwasher. So I would say yes. I mean, obviously you need the money. You need your shitty money. And yeah, I would stay till 2, 3 a.m. And then finally, when I couldn't do it, I would let them know. He's like, "Oh, it's fine, whatever." They couldn't care less whether I could do it or not. They were basically trying to get as much as they could out of me, because they knew I wasn't going to be there forever. And here's the big kicker, though. Throughout this whole time that I'm doing this, they're giving me excuses why they can't pay me. I didn't get a single paycheck from that place until the day that I quit. And when I quit, it wasn't a big deal. I walked in at like 7 in the morning. Told the boss, "Hey." He's like, "Oh, you're early for work," and I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. I have to quit," because this mental stress was just ridiculous. Along with just no matter what anyone says about you, you are never ever anyone's bitch. No matter for what reason, you are there for the money alone, especially at a job place, or you're at school because you need to learn. You are never anybody's dog, anybody's puppy, anybody's plaything. You guys, you need a. The sooner anyone gets, people who feel like they can't do anything in life or that they're very limited, the more you say that to yourself, the more you understand that you are no coward, you are no one's puppy. The sooner you can start making more assertive decisions in life, and that's when I made my first one, I think, because as much as I needed the job, I had to quit it, and I found a job right after it. That's actually Taco Bell. But before we get to there, every time payday came, the first excuse for my 3 weeks there, they're like, "Oh, you joined my first 2 weeks." They're like, "Oh, you joined late. Your check's gonna be here next week." And I thought, okay, that's fine. And then, but when next week came around near payday, that's when they put me as a deep fryer. And then when I asked about my paycheck, They told me, oh, we had to change since we changed your position. It reset your payment schedule type since you hadn't completed one. We can't exactly give you a paycheck, but all hours you worked, you will get paid for. Oh, actually, no, they didn't say that. I thought that. I was naive and thought that. All they told me is that, oh, you don't get a check this week. You'll get it next week after your position kicks in, or whatever they said, something like that. And when that week came, or when near that week came, they put me as a dishwasher. They started keeping me as a dishwasher throughout all my shifts, and damn, their definition of dishwasher was god awful. It wasn't dishwasher at all. It was it was rock bottom. But you weren't just washing dishes. You were washing dishes, carrying them to the back, organizing them in the back, going forward, restocking the ice machines in different places, with all these, animal people, customers, these, kind of rough sports fans. No offense to sport fans out there, there's just like how there's good and bad people, there's good, gentle and rough sports fans. It's kind of the way it is, and they like to talk, and yeah, I think they're very how can I say, homey to the place. They feel like they belong there. They're very comfortable at the bar. And when they see you, or they see you mess up, you drop a cup, you drop some ice, or you're carrying a bag of ice, or you're struggling in any way, they will call you out on it. Let me tell you, they will call you out on it, make a joke about it, talk about your mom, whatever you want to, whatever you imagine, the whole 9 yards. And you gotta laugh it off, or say yes sir, no sir, or whatever. You gotta just give the right answer, and they'll all go away. But it won't stop. It will not stop. And we had to do that. Occasionally, I had to give out the food. I had to help. We also had these very shitty waitresses that would never be able to help, and they would always talk to the first guy in uniform. So like someone like me, they would ask me like, hey, where's my this, or hey, can I get this, or can I get a refill, or whatever, and you can't exactly say no. The last time I said no, I was brought to the back. I was brought to the back of the storage of where they put the beers and the wines or whatever they have for sale there, and they talked to me back there. One guy said, oh, if anyone comes up to you, you have to help them the best you can. You can't just run away from them. You can't just whatever. And no, I didn't run away. I simply told them that, oh, your waitress will be here. Keep in mind, this is my first job, so. I mean, nowadays I would have been like, oh, hey, let me help you. If I can, I'll get someone who will. But at the time, I was like, oh, no, you gotta wait for your waitress. I stole that guy's blue. And yeah, after I got talked to and all that, everything just added up horribly. And by the time I quit, they told me, come back next week. Your paycheck will be here. And I said, are you sure? And the guy, I swear to God, my boss for the first time looked at me and said, yes, sir. Yeah, it'll be here. But with a very smirk attitude. He was very unhappy that I called him out. Oh, look at this. Because I got lazy and I didn't activate my W, she lived with a sliver of health, and I would have killed her. I got lazy. I thought with a couple auto attacks she was dead. I started laughing too. I was like, oh my god, I had to get comfortable. Anyways, I'll go through Kindred's abilities after. I got sidetracked. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I got my first paycheck. My first paycheck was $108 for a month and a half, 2 months of work. A $108 and something cents. And again, I was 15, and again I thought this was normal. So what did my mom say when I showed her paycheck? She flipped the hell out on me. Oh my god, she said, how dare you let them? We had a big argument, I didn't know, she didn't know, I was shy, I was scared. Although as much as I tried not to be, I tried to be different. I tried to be a man, I guess. But she understood after a couple of minutes. She knew that me, my brother, and her had some big shoes to fill with my dad being gone. And lucky us, it wasn't like, my dad was gone and boom, no money. No, my dad was a very saving man, and it was just a good thing that her and my mother had a joint bank account when bills came around. So we were living okay for a couple of months. His 401k came in and all this stuff. It was alright. So my mom told me, chill out for a minute. Don't just take the first crappy job you can get. Try somewhere nice. So she referred me Taco Bell because, as racist as it is, I mean, it's not racist, I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm Hispanic, so it doesn't mean, you know, Hispanics always have Hispanic connections to Taco Bell. That's the last thing, all right. But I happen to have it in this case, and I was able to get a job there. You know, it was a nice job. Um, but yeah, $108, man. $108. It was ridiculous, you know. And I had dropped out of high school for this, you know. And I had, you know, I didn't drop out of high school, believe it or not. I never said the words, "I'm dropping out of high school." I never did. No, I never had the intention of dropping out of high school. It began with ditching classes because I was tired. It began with not going to school and enjoying nature just to be able to breathe. I mean, I would avoid the bus at 5 a.m. by walking away. And there was this little gated community outside of my neighborhood that, you know, normally you wouldn't be able to get to it unless you drove around, you know, a big way or to the front entrance. But they had a little opening in my neighborhood right next to it. I would jump through that little opening, take down the little broken fence and jump through that opening and just walk around. They had this somewhat little garden forest thing. I don't think it was intentional, but I think the agriculture was just there, and I would lay down for hours on end, just look at the sky, and, you know, question life, think about life, you know. And no, I would come to a lot of conclusions. You know, there was a lot of things that came out of there, out of those experiences. You know, heartache, joy, resolutions, and whatnot. No, just good things came out of this, out of that time. Just good things until one day the school, they called my mom, or not call my mom, a social worker came home. One of the if you don't know what a social worker is, she's basically the lady that deals with students who need a special attention for a certain problem. And she came, or she didn't come. I think she did call. She might have called. We were in the office of it, elementary, middle school, and that's where we had to meet her. And when we finally did meet her, she said, "All right." Basically, this is basically what she said. I can't remember word for word. I'm sorry, but basically she said, "You're not going to school. You're choosing to drop out. I've withdrawn you, or she's basically kicked me out of school. The term, whatever it is, I guess kicked out of school. What are you doing next? We need to set up a game plan or whatever." And I was like, "Excuse me?" Well, I wasn't like, "Excuse me," but in my head I was. And my mom was just like, "Okay, all right, he's not going to school. Can he get his GED?" They were talking about him and stuff, but in my head and in myself, I didn't think that I was. Am I really dropping out of high school? Me. I mean, I don't want to say I had the brightest future off the gate, but I definitely, not through all my life did I ever see that I had to drop out of high school. I guess I say I had to drop out of high school, but in all actuality, it was my decision. No one told me to drop out of high school. And I just couldn't handle life in school. You know, I left all my classes, left all my quote-unquote friends. And, you know, some of you guys think, you know, high school is the best time of your life. You're going to see those people the rest of your life. Whoever's your friend is your friend for life. They're not. I can tell you with 100% actuality that the second you disappear, you know, from obligatory school, the second they disappear. Maybe that's a little cold. Jeez, I'm just picking up stacks left and right. I have 10 stacks here. I think I'm doing 15% or 12% of max health damage or something like that. Jesus Christ. Or not max health, current health. J4 just going ham. But no, I didn't choose to drop out of high school. I didn't want to, but it ended up happening. One thing led to another, and why? Look at this. She flashes out. Why would you flash out a Kindred ulti? Oh man. No, I didn't choose to drop out of high school though. I kind of just happened, and it was never the intent. It was never what I wanted. And if I knew that what I was dealing with now would be avoided just by staying in school. Bye, Kha'Zix. Bye, Vayne. And if I knew it would have been avoided, I would have. I would have stayed at school, and I would have got an education. Had someone hold my hand on the way out, because now no one can hold my hand, and you know, you're kind of on your own. You know. And when you're on your own, believe it or not, it's a scary place. The world becomes scarier than you think. You know, being I'm kind of, I guess, a conspiracy theorist. I believe there's more to the world than there really is. It's even scarier when you have less cover, when you have less distractions. You just see more, and it could drive a man insane. You know, but I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think I have more problems than the next person. I don't think my life's any agony. At least not at the moment. Not agony, anyways. Just it's a little rough around the edges. But more of the story. Working sucks. Make sure you do some research where you decide to work ever. And school isn't for everyone, I understand, but school can be a great help to those who can. So don't count it out just yet. You just might be one of those people who fits in. But I'm kind of grateful for it. I feel that I've become a better person out of it, regardless if I feel like I've lost a couple of brain cells. But yeah, all I even do now, like, my girlfriend calls me an old man because of how I speak or what I think or how I feel. And anyone I meet nowadays, any young person who is just barely in high school, enjoying life, being reckless, I tell them, hey man, it's not always gonna be like that. I thought the same shit. But then my dad always told me the same thing too, like, hey, life isn't easy, life isn't always gonna be easy. You should be grateful and you should be careful. I never really thought about it until my dad left. Or was taken away, I guess, is the actual proper term. Yeah, until my dad was taken away, was I ungrateful, and nor did I listen to him. Thought my dad was third world, Hispanic, crazy, that he was just growing old. He's not even in his 40s yet. I chose not to listen. And I'm paying the price. But at least I understand, and when I do get to talk to my dad, man, the respect I have for him is through the roof. He could ask me he could ask me for anything, and I would say yes, I will do it, no matter what it is, and I would do it. Hi, Kazakhs. Bye, Kazakhs. Or by Tristana, my bad. It's one of those. Somebody dies here. I know someone dies here. There we go. Minions! But yeah, guys, there's always more to life. And some of you guys, want to party, want to be with different people, men and women, guys and girls, or boys and girls. But yeah, I want to say be happy, be grateful, because things could always be worse. But don't get crazy. That's all. Don't get crazy. Don't get overconfident. But I used to believe this world was nothing but crap, but I am now more but grateful. Thanks for watching.